Hey guys, I hope all is well. Thank you for joining me for this Truth Talk video. In today's episode, we'll be taking a look through the industry's biggest award shows like the Oscars, Grammys, and the VMAs. Let's get right into it. As we often speak about on this channel, the Masons are the ones who run the music industry in Hollywood. Time and time again, we see the biggest artists in the world showing their alliance to the Masonic order in one way or another. This is because the Masons have made it their priority to take control of everything that reaches the masses. In order to make it big in the music industry, you must be aligned with the Masonic agenda. You must take the Masonic oath and serve the order. Most of these big artists and celebrities are occultists who are into ritualistic magic. These celebrities perform Masonic rituals in order to rise in degrees within the Masonic order, gaining more Masonic hidden knowledge. Often, we see these very rituals being performed in these award shows that take place every year. These award shows are clearly Masonic ceremonies that are done for the world to watch. The Masons award their puppets and have the world praise them at these events. Let's start with the Oscars, as this is the current event that everybody's concerned about due to the Will Smith and Chris Rock incident. The Oscars is clearly a Masonic ceremony, done yearly to praise the biggest Masonic actors. This is why they choose to decorate their entire event with triangles representing the all-seeing eye. If we look at the Oscar award, we quickly notice something off about it. Not only do they place the award in the middle of a triangle, but the statue itself is actually an Egyptian god named Ptah, who was thought to be the god of craftsmen and architect. If you take a good look at the statue, they obviously designed the Oscar statue with this god in mind. As we have come to learn on this channel, the Masons love using Egyptian symbology, and so do occultists who follow Aleister Crowley. Like I said before, Crowley claimed that he was possessed by an Egyptian god named Awis, who instructed him to write the Book of the Law, a very book that many Masons and occultists live by to this day. The Oscars participating in Egyptian god worship is something we see all over the industry. We have spoken about Rick Owens, Michelle Lamy, and Adele, who are all worshippers of the god Saturn. This year, the attention at the Oscars was on Will Smith and Chris Rock. Like I spoke about in my last video, I believe this incident between both actors was 100% staged. Even though some of you don't believe this to be true, most of you can see my point. These award shows are planned and tightly orchestrated with no room for error. Everything about this incident screams staged. Now, many of you were talking about this being a humiliation ritual for Will Smith. Even though I cannot find any credible proof that within the Masonic order they perform humiliation rituals, I did find that Will was indeed showing love to the Masonic order. I have seen many of you guys commenting regarding Will doing the hidden hand while accepting his Oscars award. Before I could confirm and report this to be true, I had to see it for myself just to make sure he wasn't just placing his hands in his jacket for some reason. Will Smith was indeed doing the hidden Masonic hand as he did his acceptance speech. I made a full video on Will and his family being Masonic puppets, and in that video, I showed that Will has been showing the world he is a Masonic puppet since early in his career. There is photos of him doing the hidden hand much earlier in his career. It's clear that Will Smith was showing his Masonic superiors that he was honored to have been chosen to win the Oscar. It's not hard to see that the entire Oscar show is Masonic, but it doesn't even come close to how Masonic the Grammy Awards are. In the Grammy Awards, just like the Oscars, we see the industry showing praise to the Masonic order. Year after year, they have these huge Masonic segments that have big-name celebrities performing Masonic rituals for the world to see. We have to start with Nicki Minaj's 2012 Grammys performance, as it was one of the most satanic ones of them all. In the Nicki performance, we saw Nicki possessed by a demon she called Roman. The entire performance showed Nicki acting as she was possessed by a demonic spirit, something we just spoke about in Beyonce's
better
video.
than I expected. And Sasha was in full effect. Sasha is my alter ego. When people see me, sometimes I think that when they meet me and they speak with me, they're expecting Sasha. I'm really kind of shy, and not really shy, but more reserved. Nothing like Sasha. She can do things that I cannot do when I'm in rehearsal. I mean, I can try, but then it just doesn't happen. I can sing notes and sing strong and do all these things that when I'm just by myself, I can't do. I remember right before I performed, I raised my hands up, and it was kind of the first time I felt something else come into me.
Sasha Fierce, when does she show up?
Usually when I hear the crowd, when I put on my stilettos, when, like the moment right before when you're nervous and that other thing kind of takes over for you.
These artists and celebrities channel demonic spirits that guide and control them, and this is exactly what we're seeing with Nicki. During these days, Nicki would rap in several different voices and claim that she had multiple personalities living within her. One of those personalities was Roman, who sometimes she rapped as, similar to what Mr. Crowley himself claimed. In the rest of the Grammys performance, we saw Nicki being put through an exorcism, and we see her acting as if she were possessed as flames rise in the back of her. At the end of the performance, she can even be seen floating in the air as if she were levitating. This segment was clearly satanic, but most people didn't even blink an eye. At the end of her performance, the entire crowd of celebrities cheered as they know that they were witnessing a ritual. Again in this segment, we see clear Roman and Egyptian god worship. The Grammys continue with their satanic theme award show in 2004 for Katy Perry's performance. Katy Perry was performing her song Dark Horse for a crowd of celebrities, and again, it was a ritual in plain sight for the world to witness. Just like Nicki, Katy's performance was dark and demonic. Katy Perry is dressed as a witch, and clearly we can see the Knights of Templar's cross illuminating on her chest. Right as the performance is about to begin, Juicy J said, "She cast a spell on me, the crystal ball, awoken the spirits. She put me in a trance. Let's rage." The performance starts off with Katy Perry in the middle of a crystal ball looking orb, while behind her we can see giant demonic figures with horns on their heads. The entire event, we see Katy Perry and her dancers ritually dancing as they're performing a ritual. The entire time, we see lightning and demonic energy throughout the set, indicating that they indeed were attempting to cast a spell on their viewers. Just as Juicy J claimed at the beginning, she is using her magic, casting demonic energy into the crowd, putting people into a trance. They literally have a statue of Baphomet in the back that rose up. By the end of the video, we see Katy holding a witch's broom, with flames rising as a Trojan horse appears, which is again a nod to Egyptian god worship. Clearly, Katy Perry wanted people to know that she is an occultist who practices black magic. I feel like a full video on Katy Perry is needed, as I have seen a lot of Masonic imagery in her music videos. If this is something you guys would like to see, comment Katy Perry below. The next performance we have to talk about happened just 1 year later. In the 2015 Grammy performance, we again saw a visit from Baphomet himself as Madonna performed. The performance started showing exactly 6 horned dancers who are all dressed like Baphomet with horns on their heads. Madonna is singing a song that's all about loving Lucifer, as I covered in the Dark Truth video I did on her. She performs her song Living for Love, which in my opinion seems to be dedicated to Lucifer. The song begins with her singing about letting him in and being reborn, and Lucifer building her up with love. By the end of the performance, we even see Madonna surrounded by dancers dressed as Baphomet as she levitates off the ground, just like we saw in Nicki Minaj's performance. It's also important to note that Madonna could be seen wearing the Templar's cross on her chest, clearly paying homage to the Masonic order, which many believe was the continuation of the Knights of Templars. While Madonna was performing, in the crowd we can see Katy Perry was wearing devil horns as she throws up Masonic hand gestures throughout the performance. So far, we're seeing a clear pattern of Masonic themed segments in all these award shows. The next Grammy event we'll be speaking about is the 2018 Latin Grammy Awards that featured a performance from Bad Bunny, the biggest Masonic puppet in the Latin music industry. The performance started with Bad Bunny singing in front of an eye, clearly representing the all-seeing eye. We then see the middle of the eye start spiraling to indicate hypnosis and putting his audience into a trance. We then see the entire stage go up in flames as Bad Bunny performs, and now the middle of the eye appears as a portal to hell, clearly indicating that Bad Bunny is manipulating his audience to a burning end. The audience of celebrities again could be seen loving the event, cheering for their Masonic performance. Clearly we can see a pattern with all these performances that we just looked at. They all tend to use the same symbols and have the same theme. They're openly Masonic, and most of the world chooses to ignore this. All the satanic themed segments are ritually done for the world to see. And this is only the Grammy so far, as now we're going to be taking a look at the VMAs. The VMAs, just like the Oscars and the Grammys, are an annual award show hosted by no other than MTV. I have made a whole video on MTV, and I actually recently reposted the video on my second channel. If you guys would like to see it, head over to my second channel, The Truth Is second channel. The link would be in the description. Just to sum up that video, MTV is a Masonic made company. They even had an MTV building in a Masonic lodge in Canada. We have seen tons of Masonic symbols when it comes to the MTV programming, so it's no coincidence that the VMAs has been the go-to place to openly perform Masonic rituals for the world to see. The first performance I briefly want to cover is the Madonna, Britney, and Christina Aguilera. I know many of you remember her 2003 MTV VMA Awards, where she seems to initiate Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera into the Masonic order. The performance clearly depicts a Masonic initiation ritual. The performance starts with two little girls dressed in white, tossing rose petals as they walk off stage. Whenever you see them showing little girls dressed in white, this represents innocence being offered away. The two girls dressed in white represent Britney and Christina, who were both children offered to the industry at a young age. They both got their start together in the Mickey Mouse Club, and we already know that Disney is a Masonic production company. Walt Disney himself was a Mason. Both Britney and Christina were being congratulated and initiated into the higher rankings of Masonry. When they showed Madonna, they show her walk down exactly 13 steps, dressed in black and white. The moment she appears, the crowd rises, just as the Masons do at the lodge when the Grand Worshipful Master appears. We can even see the stage has the Masonic checkerboard floor on it. This is all symbolic and clearly a Masonic ritual for the world to see. The next performance we have to talk about is the 2009 VMA Awards that featured Lady Gaga. In her 2009 VMA performance, we can see Gaga with fluffy feathered horns on her head. She is dressed in all white while blood seems to pour from her dress. Her dancers can be seen ritually dancing as Lady Gaga continues her performance. At one point in the performance, Lady Gaga walks over to a piano on stage and starts playing the piano as if she's demonically possessed. She then walks back to the center of the stage as blood pours from her dress. By the end of the performance, she was covered in blood and floating as if she were a demon. This is obviously an initiation ritual done in front of the rest of the stars who took the oath while the world watches. It is no coincidence that this would take place right at the beginning of Gaga's career. Like I said multiple times on this channel, many occultists practice blood magic, so it's no coincidence that they would have Lady Gaga doing this performance at the VMAs for the world to see. We also have to mention that she also accepted an award that evening, dressed in an all-red costume looking demonic. This entire event seemed to be satanic from start to finish. The next event we need to talk about is the 2012 VMA performance that featured Rhianna and her now baby daddy A$AP Rocky. Just like all the other award shows we covered in this video, the satanic imagery was to the max. The performance started with Rhianna sitting in a golden throne inside of the mouth of a serpent. Clearly the serpent represents Lucifer, with the performance representing Lucifer's throne. Rhianna and A$AP Rocky were showing the world exactly who they were serving. I have done videos on both Rhianna and A$AP Rocky, and in my opinion, I have proven that they are both occultists who practice dark magic. Throughout the entire event, you can see the serpent being shown on the big screen behind Rhianna. Just like all the other performances we have covered, we can see that the dancers have horns on their heads, looking pretty demonic. Even Rihanna's outfit is Masonic, as she could be seen dressed in all red with the Masonic Egyptian cross on her blouse. We can see the same theme throughout all these award shows. Even the Super Bowl has been known to have Masonic imagery in its performances. It's clear that the Masons love to do their rituals for the world to see, and they know most people wouldn't even notice or care. They have manipulated the people into accepting the Masonic imagery. Even though all these performances we just went through were satanic, most people will still deny it. To me, there is no greater proof. Why have all these Masonic symbols in their events if they weren't Masonic? They know exactly what they are doing, and they are using the media to manipulate people's minds. The media companies call those who question these symbolisms conspiracy theorists who are crazy, but everybody can see the same thing. All these celebrities are a part of the Masonic order, and they are puppets serving an agenda. We must not let these celebrities guide us to a burning end. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching this episode of The Truth Is. If you would like to further support the channel, join me on Patreon, the link would be in the description. If you join before the 28th of this month, you could be entered to this month's monthly raffle, where you can win a shirt, a cash prize, and even pick a video topic. Also, please leave a comment below on your thoughts on this video and on any future topics you would like to see me cover on my channel. If you like this video, please hit the like button, as this helps other people find these videos. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified of future videos. Please follow me on Instagram at TheTruthIs01 and on TikTok at TheTruthIs. I will gladly appreciate it. Thank you. Goodbye.